Hey, Shannon.
Hey, how are you?
Doing great. How are you doing?
You still good to grab dinner tonight?
Absolutely. Why don't you come over here?
Oh my gosh, I love that. I'll be right over.
Realtors spend all their time showing us the inside of everyone else's homes. Now let's go through their front doors for dinner and a glimpse at the gorgeous places they call home.
Hi.
Hi, Sue.
How are
you?
Nice. These are gorgeous. They smell so good too. Oh, I'm so happy to see you.
Thank you for having me. Oh, I'm so excited to see your house. Sue looks at virtually hundreds of homes every year, so it isn't easy for any particular home to rise above the rest and capture her heart. But this one did just that. Sue and her husband Peter fell in love with this spectacularly renovated 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath colonial in a stunning neighborhood in one of New Jersey's swankiest New York City commuting suburbs, Summit, New Jersey. This home has fantastic flow for entertaining and informal living. Absolutely everything in this home screens top of the line, from its highly designed interiors, custom cabinetry and built-ins, Venetian plastered walls, and designer lighting. Of course, like most homes, a kitchen opening to a great room is the heart of the home. On many summer evenings, Sue and Peter can be found enjoying a glass of wine in their gorgeous backyard or screened-in porch. While Sue listed this house to sell it, she couldn't let this one get away. I'm so excited to be here with you, Sue.
It has been such a long time. So, how are you doing?
I've been looking forward to this. When you told me about your house when we got together outside last summer, I was really excited to see it, and I have to say it has not disappointed me. It's gorgeous.
Thanks. I like this house. Very few houses actually have spoken to me like, I want to buy this house. This one did, just because it has the rooms in all the right places, and we just like the feel of it. It does have a sort of a cottagey feel to it, and it just works.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I have a question. So, look, there's so many things. I've known you now. I was thinking about having this dinner tonight. I think I've known you 17 or 18 years.
Has it really been that? I remember you were like one of the. We started at KW at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so
you were like a week after me.
I was about a week after you. Yes. And for so many years now, I've been watching the way you've grown your business, and it's not hyperbole. You are a titan of the industry. There are no. Come on. I know you're modest, but hear me out. Hear me out. You and I both know there are very few people in real estate that have built more successful businesses than you, that help more people find homes, that do more for the community, that lead and mentor people. I mean, look at all the jobs that you create.
But it's not all me.
It's not all you, of course.
have a great team. So, look, my name's on the sign, so I get the credit, and I mean, Scott is amazing, as you know.
Scott is amazing.
Lori is amazing.
Lori's amazing.
Melissa, Chris. I mean, I have Amy. I have had people with me for years, and so we've all built this together. So I cannot
No.
That's one thing I feel really.
I love the modesty, and
it's not modesty. It's true.
It's true, because I think one of the things that you and I both have learned from Keller Williams is that no one succeeds alone.
Yeah.
And I think that we really have come.
Yeah.
I know that's a part of both of us.
Yeah.
So here's the other thing that I found myself surprised about as I was thinking about us getting together today.
Uh-oh.
Well, it just surprised me that you and I work in a field that's fairly dominated by women. And so a lot of things that our counterpart women who are out in other industries and other fields struggle with, perhaps in some of the gender differences, we don't really struggle with in our industry, because it is so...
Well, you're saying that. However, the leadership roles in our industry are very much male dominant.
True.
I mean...
True.
So when you're saying women, I was thinking, really? Because I mean, my experience has been, I remember for years I was like the only woman on stage. And now it's changing. And if you look at the leadership roles, it's mostly men. It's starting to change, but it's still predominantly a male industry in terms of the leadership.
Yeah. It's true. And people like you and your tribe are really blazing some new trails.
Yeah.
What I found myself very curious about was your relationships with a handful of men, if I may ask.
Yeah.
how about this handsome guy?
My daddy.
That's
my dad.
Here we are in your beautiful home here. I'm very curious. Tell me a little bit about your home and your relationship with. Now, were both your parents realtors or just your dad?
Well, my mom ran the office. She was
Okay.
the office manager, and my dad was the broker.
Okay.
But my mom pushed my dad. My dad.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That's interesting.
Yeah. My dad was sort of very quiet. I kind of always called him like E.F. Hutton. When he talks, people listen.
Leaned in.
My mom is the most amazing person in the world, and I had no idea how strong my mom was until recent years. I never realized how amazing she is because I always fought with her growing up. So, but no, he's great.
He's a sweet, sweet man.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
And then you have this handsome guy.
Yes.
And I mean, again, I met you early on, I think, in your relationship with Peter.
Yeah.
And you guys seem to have a very nice, not just personal relationship, but business relationship as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's been pretty instrumental from the beginning,
Yeah.
yes?
But then he quickly started to take all the pictures and
He's so ridiculously talented.
yeah. Gary.
So Gary Keller.
Yeah. Love
I
him.
mean, I know that personally, I feel the leadership he provides to all of us in the company is just so stellar.
Yeah.
But he's been a real mentor to you too, has he not?
He has. I mean, he makes me think bigger. Whenever I have any kind of challenge or something I need to work out. I remember a long time ago, you and I talked about. Remember we talked about partnership a long time ago.
Yeah.
That was my first time. That was actually the first phone call I had with Gary Keller
Really?
to help me work it out.
Okay.
Yep.
He's such a smart man.
Yep. And that was years ago. That was when I was still in
Boy.
that. Yeah, that was probably 10 years ago or more.
I bet more.
Yeah.
I bet more. In fact, I'm sure of it.
Yeah. I feel like this is your life. They're
A
going to
little
show up.
bit. But you've really attracted some amazing people. Scott Schumann being
love
one
him.
of them.
Yeah, he's great.
Right?
He's getting married next week.
What role has he played in you developing this ridiculous career that you have?
He basically runs the team. He really is. He's incredible.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
an amazing guy.
Yeah.
Totally love Scott. So I want to shift gears a little bit. Here's what I'm curious about.
Okay.
What about this cute kid?
Oh, I was cute, wasn't I?
You were cute, Sue. So I've only known you as this successful grown woman. What were you like as a little kid? Did you always know that you'd be destined to?
Oh no,
You didn't?
No,
What?
I was not that person to succeed. No.
No?
No, never.
You've mentioned that your mother is really so strong and was a powerful force in your life, and I know you have a relationship with your daughters through things like the Five Dolls and listening to the Empire Builders. I know that you have amazing relationships with other strong businesswomen, and I'm curious about how that has affected your life.
Well, they say you become like the 5 people you surround yourself with, right? But no, it's totally changed my world. I feel like each of us at the $5, we have each changed each other's worlds because of that. And I mean, everybody needs to have their tribe. That's why, like any woman, I don't need to like give this amplified plug, but honestly, that's why we're doing it. That's why we're doing it, because it's so powerful to be able to have women amplifying other women. The guys do it all the time. The guys always do it, but women are apologetic. Like, I remember Sarah saying something like, Sarah and I both have our top strength in Strength Finders is competition or competitive, and it comes off as very like people look at that as if you're a guy, oh wow, that's awesome,
great.
Right? But a woman, it sounds like, oh wow, you're like a bull in the china factory, like it's just very different.
It's very different. Can't overstate it.
But I don't come off that way. I don't view myself that way, but I know if you put me in a situation where I'm up against someone else, that's going to drive me to win. I love to win. I can't help it.
You can't help it. It's
Can't
who you
help
are.
it. Right.
Well,
you're like that. You're like that too.
I like to win, and I'm very unhappy when I don't.
Yes.
I mean, it's fun to play.
Right.
It's more fun to win.
Yeah. No, but I think what it is kind of like when you hang out with women who are similar in that way, and you support each other, and you also hear the truth from people.
The vulnerable stuff.
That's the best part, because you need people in your life to really just not tell you what you want to hear, to tell you what you need to hear. And I do feel like with them, I absolutely have that. And I've walked away crying. Other people, like, it's real stuff, but it all comes from a good place. From
love, right?
Always. I have that with
team members.
With my core group of team members. We all know we're family, and we all know each other so well. So
there's something so special about work family.
Yeah.
It's different than regular family, but it's a very strong bond. You're out there all day long, every day, fighting the same enemy, if I can say, and I think it's very bonding.
Yeah, it is. And there's you spend more time with your work family than you do with your regular family. I mean, if we're going to be honest, I mean, it ends up happening that way. So you have to love the people that you're working with.
And what you do. And I know you've been very fortunate that way, as have I, that we love what we do. It's a fun gig, you know?
Yeah, it is.
Any regrets? Work-wise? Anything you do differently now that, as we were talking about earlier, at our ripe middle age? Anything you regret?
It's so funny. Like, I can't say regrets, because I feel like you learn from things that you did wrong or whatever, but I would say I wish I knew, like, I was selling real estate for years before I knew what I knew. Like, before Gary Keller and this whole group of wonderful, amazing people, role models, fell into my world, and felt like yours too, right? So I always wonder, like, what would I be like now if I was introduced to this when I was in my 20s, like some of these people are.
So let's just be really clear, because you're kind of going where my next question was, and I want to be really clear. When you say introduced to this, I know what you mean, but spell it out for me. What do you mean?
So there's Quantum Leap for kids, right? So they have access to thinking bigger. And when we're sort of taught to think in terms of, well, getting a job, well, what does that mean? Or, I mean, even right now, in my Gary Keller Mastermind group, we were reading The Psychology of Money. And it was one of the best reads that I've had in a long time. And I didn't even realize how much I needed that book. But, you know, I was raised, like a lot of us, or people my age, where you went to save. Well,
save, and get a safe job.
Right. And I realized that, well, it's stupid to have the money in the bank now. There's no interest. You want to invest your money. So we're just sort of brought up. It's just a matter of changing our mindsets. And I have a big fear of losing what I have. So you just start to see, it just helps you think differently. And the more people I'm around, the more I'm learning and growing. And I think that keeps my mind young, which is a great thing.
Young and abundant, right? Yeah, I know that the kinds of things that we are surrounded with at Keller Williams is a whole mindset of thinking big and abundantly, and knowing that we need to grow ourselves to get what we need.
Exactly. I mean, I think also just in terms of, like, how can we, I mean, my mind is always, how can we provide a better consumer experience? What can we be doing? It's just a constant thought. And so just learning from all these other people and just having access to people in other parts of the country who are doing these incredible things, you start sharing, and that's what it is. It's like this sharing mentality, whereas I would say early on, it was like, I'm doing this, I'm not going to share this with you because I don't want you taking my secrets. And now it's like, I want to teach what I'm doing, because that whole abundance mentality, the more you give, the more you do get back. And that was such a mind shift also, coming from that, just the old way of thinking previously.
Scarcity versus abundance.
Yes, exactly.
Any thoughts on what's next for you?
What's next for me?
More of the same? You seem happy doing what you're doing.
It's every day's different, and I feel like, we're really growing in a good way. Like, I do feel like a little out of balance because of COVID, but I mean, the whole lake house that we're building is exciting to me right now.
Well, and maybe out of balance because from what I understand, you're having a banner year from a business point of view.
Yeah.
I mean, here we are in May, and I'm told you've already superseded what you did last year in terms of the number of families you've helped. Is that accurate?
Yeah, so last year we did, I think, $225 million in sales, and I think we're the only team in the MLS to have broken $200 million.
Amazing.
And this year, I think this week we're hitting $225 million
and
already.
It's May.
It's May, yeah.
It's insane. It's insane.
It's crazy. It is so crazy.
So one of the reasons that I wanted to have these dinners is that I feel very blessed to be able to spend time with people like you. And you said earlier, you
Ditto.
are. Thank you. I appreciate that. As you said earlier, you are the sum of the people you surround yourselves with, and I feel very blessed to be able to have these kind of dinners and conversations. But the truth is, I want to be able to share that with other people, particularly the people in our field who it's not so easy necessarily if they're younger than us and they haven't known each other as long to call each other up and have some salmon and quinoa and asparagus. Mm-hmm. And there's so much about you and the way you run your business and the way you run your life that I really respect sharing with other people who are looking to get into the industry or make a change or benefit from some of the fabulous things that we've learned from being a part of Keller Williams. So thank you for sharing your time and all of your wisdom and just, being in my world. I know you hate this stuff. I do really find you to be an inspiration. So thank you.
You're an inspiration to me.
Well, thank you.
You have been the most incredible team leader. You really have. You're definitely one of the top team leaders in the country, and you have, I think, just turned around our whole company, and you're such an attractor to people.
Thank you.
So I think anybody is crazy who's looking to be in real estate, honestly, not to join now. Like if I had joined real estate and had a mentor like you there, I mean, that would have been amazing.
The truth is, at our age, you can look back and see that the people you surround yourself with is so important.
Yeah.
And that, if I were young, I'd go out there and try to make sure that I was making decisions based on the people I spent my time with. So important. Well, thank you, Sue. If you would like to grow an exciting career in real estate, I'd love to speak with you. Please reach out to me today.